What's up, guys? We're here with Will.
What's up?
And today we're putting the cylinder head back on the Bronco, getting it ready for the Fitech. My old one had this intake manifold bolt snapped off, and so I had to buy a new head. And when I bought the new head, the guy sent it to me and the same bolt was snapped off. So I had to send it in and get it taken out. But we finally got the bolt extracted, ready to go back on the Bronco and start putting this thing back together.
Hell yeah, dude, trying to get this thing back up and running.
Yes, sir. And Will's the big motor guy. He works over at Exodus and builds a bunch of high horsepower cars.
You jam shit, no, not this poor stuff.
Not this high power, super light, whatever this is made out of Ford stuff.
Can't stand.
This is cracked. Oh, it's just part of the thing. So yeah, gonna throw this thing back on.
Yeah, let's get to it.
What's up, guys? So it is the next day. Will and I got the head on. I bolted the header up. I still need to tighten it down a little bit. Need to get some of the accessories back on the head, valve cover, and then I can throw the intake manifold on for the new Fitech system, which is gonna be super cool. So here's the new intake manifold for it. It's just a pretty simple 4-barrel carburetor style intake for the new carburetor style EFI Fitech unit. Got some of the little sensors already plugged in there, and pretty excited to get this thing slapped on and get the Fitech all installed. So let me go ahead and get some of this stuff put back on, and we'll move on to the intake manifold. Okay, so we got the header torqued down, valve cover on, and intake manifold is also on, bolted down, torqued to spec, ready to go. So now what we have left is the Fitech and the fuel system and all that stuff. So we're getting pretty close to getting this thing running. This is the new Fitech unit. Fitech, shout out to you guys, sent me their full master kit. So this comes with their main fuel injection unit, all the stuff that it takes to run it. But what's really cool is they also sent me their full fuel system. So check out the size of their force fuel pump. So it's got its own regulator, its own return lines and everything. This thing is crazy. Look at it compared to my hand. Super big unit, super excited. Keeps the fuel pressure regulated, I think 55 psi the whole entire time, so this has enough fuel getting to it. But let's go ahead and throw this on. I forgot that I did not order bolts for the actual unit, but I can probably just go get some of those tomorrow at Ace. So I just want to see what it looks like. I'm going to set it on there and show you guys a little sneak peek. So there it is, just sitting on the motor, because again I don't have the bolts yet. But wow, look at that. Super exciting, super stoked to get this thing finally running again. I'm hoping it's pretty simple to get together, pretty simple to get running, figure it all out. I think it is. I think with the Fitech stuff, they made it pretty simple. A lot of it's plug and play. Alright, so we went and got some hardware for the actual Fitech unit. So now we can take that and mount it to the new intake manifold that we just installed on the Bronco and see how it looks.
Alright, you guys, so it's been a little while since that last clip. We had to send the Fitech back off to the techs at Fitech, and they sent me back the CDI, they sent me back the handheld unit, and they sent me back the actual throttle body with all the computers on it. And so they went ahead and checked all of those, tested all of them through heat cycles too, so they put them on a running motor, and they all work. So we need to reinstall this and figure out what is going on and why it's not wanting to fire or give us any spark or fuel, I'm guessing. And so after we throw it back on, we're gonna go ahead and try to crank it over. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna throw that on real quick and I will get back to you guys. Okay, you guys, so the Fitech unit is back on, the throttle body. The CDI is back on, and then obviously this is really easy to just plug in. And so we're gonna go ahead and plug this in and see what it's reading, see what's going on, because I know there's a couple things I need to set up before, so we'll go ahead and set up the handheld computer and then try to crank it over, see if it starts. Okay, so the way I have this set up so far is key on is the stock fuel pump turning on to feed the new force fuel system up there. And then basically this turns on this switch panel, and then this is the force fuel system from the Fitech that turns the force fuel on and all the different computers that need a key on ignition switch. Now if we look at this little handheld, we can go to Go EFI, initial setup, engine setup. So now we gotta go 351. Cam is not very wild, so we're gonna go to 1. We're gonna set the rev limiter real low. That stuff's all pretty much set. Let's see if it'll crank. Alright you guys, so I just got off the phone with my tech at Fitech, super cool guy, and I think what's going on is we have this wired wrong. So it's a simple 2-wire distributor. I wanted it super simple so I wouldn't have to mess with too much stuff, and it's just a positive and negative coming off that I thought went to the coil, but instead he said the red one goes to a keyed 12 volt and the black one will go to this ignition wire. You can see, or this points, whatever wire, and so that should fired up. He said once that 12 volt is keyed on and that thing is on the point wire, it'll tell this to fire and it'll read an RPM, and we should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wire that all up real quick and let's test it out. Okay, so we have this super ghetto rigged, just to the 12 volt key on, and then this goes to the point white wire on the black wire on the distributor. And so let's see if it'll crank. Key on, switch on. That is so crazy. Alright you guys, so check this out. This should be pretty close to starting up. Key on, turn the Fitech stuff on. Let's go ahead and crank it. See if I can put my foot on the throttle. Keep it idling a little bit. So it sounds like we have an issue because it's firing and then immediately dying, which I've heard a lot about with this Fitech stuff. So luckily I think it's pretty easy to fix. Let me go ahead and run these wires better. Obviously, I'm not gonna run the truck with this wire just running across and then this wire running to a switch sitting on the front of the truck. So I'm gonna wire that into the rest of the switch panel. Exciting though, super excited. So we got the distributor key wire wired into my switch panel. So now this is what we're dealing with. When the truck starts up, it'll run for a second and then it'll shut off. So I can show you real quick. Oops. Fuel, distributor, and then it'll start for a second and die. It does it every single time, I'm pretty sure. So let's give my boy at Fitech a call and see what's going on, because I think now it's pretty simple. I think I've read some stuff about it. I'm forgetting what they said, but I think it is pretty simple. So.
Well, that goes back to seeing if you're showing an RPM signal on the handheld during cranking and potentially dropping key power off of that white wire off the EFI system, causing the system shut down right after it starts. Okay,
so unfortunately, I think what we've been talking about is this distributor. It's just a cheap Amazon distributor. 2-wire, the positive goes to a keyed 12 volt on my switch inside the truck. The negative goes to the point wire on the Fitech CDI box. So I don't know. They said I should just go get a better distributor that will actually plug into this distributor plug. But I'm gonna go look and see what I can find. They said Petronix is pretty good. They use that a lot. And so I'm ready to have this thing running. So gonna go check and see what I can do. Alright you guys, so it has been a little while since we last messed with all this distributor stuff on the Bronco. And so obviously we got the cap off so we could see which way the distributor is pointing. Because the new one came in, which I'm super excited about. I think this one's gonna be a lot better because This one was a simple 2-wire. It was just a cheap Amazon one, and so it is not set up very good. But luckily now, we have the cable to run it just straight to the CDI box from Fitech. So we can use timing control and all that cool stuff. So let's go ahead and unbox this. I'm super excited. I'm not gonna lie, I already unboxed it, but show you guys what's going on with this new distributor. It just feels so much better. And the instructions for the other one literally looked like someone just drew it and then sent it out, like drew it with a pen. But this is super cool. It literally just connects straight to the CDI box, which is awesome. All right, you guys, got it installed. Everything wired up, ready to go. Connects straight into here, which is super easy. Way easier than running a bunch of wires and stuff to a bunch of random places. But this is super exciting and super scary because if it doesn't start, I don't know what's wrong with it. I've been on and off the phone with Fitech a ton, and everyone said that it's a distributor because number one, it was the wrong distributor. Number two, it was a cheap piece of crap distributor. They said that this one doesn't even work with their systems, and so I'm betting that this one will work. I'm excited to hear it fire up and finally idle, because the other one would fire for literally 1 second, but we'll see if this works. All right, time to see if it worked. First start. Grady's gonna film it.
Works. Okay. Oh shit.
All right, so I had all the spark plug wires on the wrong points on the distributor. From some diagrams, I don't know which diagram to look at because I know there's a lot of different ones for the 351 Windsors. So I changed it to this new spark plug layout or wire layout, whatever you want to call it. So see if that works, because before it was not working and it sounded like the whole thing was going to explode. Make sure this is on. Let's see, I'll give it another prime. Another 2 primes of fuel. Here we go. Nope. It looks like we're gonna count on Will to come save us, because this is annoying and Will figured it out last time, so see if you can do it. First start, Will came over and helped me out, so let's see if we got this thing timed up right now. Good, dude. And there's no thermostat. And I took out the heater core. So hopefully this works. Alright, Will found some water. It's hot outside. It's like over 100 degrees. Here's my fish tank. Well, we got the Bronco running. Will was a huge help. Obviously, you saw in all the clips from helping put the head on the engine to setting the timing and doing all that stuff, so super stoked. And now we just have to call Fitech and get this thing dialed in. I don't know if that'll happen first or if I'm sending it off to the body shop first to do the roof, get that put on, but should be sick. Until next time, say bye, Will.